You know, it's always sad, isn't it, when we lose a wonderful actor? You know, I know I say this a lot on this show, and we have lost so many recently, but that is life, isn't it? It is, you know, like the Lion King musical song, The Circle of Life. One actor I was lucky enough to get to know, not very well, but, enough to sort of spend a few times with him and always have a smile and a laugh, was this man. John Savardant, right? Now, John really was a brilliant actor. You know, when people talk about acting, he really did encompass all sorts of different characters. I first met him many years ago when he was appearing in the original production of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. Oh, yes, he'd done about 12 musicals, you know. He could literally do everything. But to the rest of the world, really, he was this man. Fred Elliott, Fred Elliott, the butcher from Coronation Street, the UK's longest running soap opera starting way back in 1960. But of course, when he was in it many, many years later, he created a character that was truly his own. And I wanted to share this story with you because I think first and foremost, it will make you smile. That's what I think about when we lose someone. We should always remember them with a smile, you know, because life is, they don't want people being sad, do they? You know, now, John, as I say, it was a great raconteur, a theatrical sort of wonderful guest on a chat show. You know, he could tell you all sorts of different things, you know, and he just appeared in so many things, never as the star. That's the thing, always as somebody, as a lead, or, not a main lead, but as a good supporting actor. And that's really all you can ask for to keep jobbing as an actor. Now, John, you see, was appearing in Phantom of the Opera, and he told me this story. And it was around Christmas time. And what he decided to do was go to the Royals' favourite store, Fortnum and Mason's, to top up on what a few, as he said, choice cuts, treats, that sort of thing, like you do. Particularly if you've got that sort of money, you know. Now, apparently he's in the queue and he's with a friend, right? And they're chatting away and they're waiting to pay this stuff. And he sees this woman in front of him in the queue. And he thinks, I think I know that woman. I think we might have appeared in Rep together, repertory theatre, you know. And he didn't think, so he tapped her on the shoulder and she's got a headscarf on and glasses. And he says, all right. And she said, yes. And he said, how are you doing? Oh, not so bad. And, he said, never clicked on, didn't get anything wrong at this point. And he said, I think I was in panto with her. So he said, that's pantomime, by the way, vaudeville. And he said, so he says, are you in panto then this year? And she said, no, I'm not, I'm not in panto this year. He said, oh, what are you up to then? He said, didn't you have a double act with your sister on the halls? And she said, well, no, not really. He said, oh, well, where do I know you from? He said, well, what does your sister do? And apparently the woman turned around and said, she's still the queen. He said, and at that point, John told me he realised that this person in front of him was none other than Princess Margaret. And he said, when you want the sort of floor to swallow you up, he said, and she just sort of said, good afternoon, good day. He said he didn't know her that well. He didn't know Princess Margaret that well. He just thought he knew this person as an actress. And so years later, he did meet her. And apparently she did have a recollection of it. But he wasn't really wrong, John, because she had appeared in panto alongside her sister out at Windsor Castle. So at least one bit of it was right. But it's funny, isn't it? When you think of a story like that, it just makes you smile because, as I said, did you ever do it again? He said, oh, no. He said, you're always double checking now, aren't you? He said, you're really nervous in case you get it wrong again. He said, but if you're going to get it wrong, you might as well get it wrong with the best. Now, we're going to miss John Savardant, as I say, a wonderful, wonderful actor who created an iconic role in Fred Elliott. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.